lovely to play to a packed audience. My name's Ralph Watson. I'm here really today to talk to you about a book. But in order to talk to you about the book, I want to tell you a story. Is that okay?
Yeah.
This is yes. Okay, good. I was born in the 1950s, which means I've been around for a while. I started my business career in 1974. So my business career has gone on probably longer than 80% of the people in this room have even been a glimmer in their parents' eyes. I started off in sales. I sold double glazing for about 3 years, and I was good at it. I made a lot of money. I had a nice Jaguar on the driveway, and then after about 3 years of doing that, I decided there must be a bit more to life than this. So I kind of went into the corporate world, working with companies like Philips, Oki, Pitney Bowes, Minolta, and Euro Sky Copy, who are no more. I left my corporate career in the 1990s for two reasons. One was because my heart told me it's time to quit, because it stopped on Saturday afternoon. I still blame my wife because she took me shopping in Milton Keynes. The interesting thing is I've never been back to Milton Keynes. I can't bring myself to face that place. And the other was I just wanted to do something different. So I went into the world of training, initially in sales training and kind of business and management training. And it wasn't long before I got drawn into working in places like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Qatar, India, etc. And so for about the last 15 years, I've spent a lot of my time around the Middle East. And it's only the last couple of years that I've been devoting more of my time here. So how many of you have actually seen me speak before? Just a quick show of hands? Yeah, lovely. Okay. No repetition, I promise. My kind of pen name is the White Wolf, and the White Wolf came about because I've had this lifelong interest in the wolf as a creature, because my name is Ralph, and in the ancient kind of Nordic tongue, Ralph meant wolf. So for all my childhood, when I wanted my name to be a little more than just Ralphie, I became the wolf. That then took me into a fascination with the wolf and a study of how the wolf operates in the wild, the wolf pack. And that, coupled with my experience in business, gave me the opportunity to look at a lot of very successful businesses, a lot of very successful people, not just business people, entrepreneurs, sports people, personalities. And what I discovered was there is a similarity. And so I operated as the White Wolf, I operated as Ralph Watson, and things were going really great. And I don't know how many of you are here in the kind of speaking stroke, coaching stroke, training arena? Yeah? You know, sometimes business can be a bit like this. Yeah? And it was in one of those, which was going on and on and on, that I found myself on a journey, and I signed up for Audible books. Have you ever come across Audible? Yeah. The reason I did this is because they were offering 3 free books, and the Scotsman in me decided, well, if it's free, I'll have some of that. And one of the books that I downloaded literally stunned me because of the tips that I picked up from that book. They turned around the way that I thought about my business and the way that I drove my business. And what I want to do today is to share some of that with you. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, so quick check first. Is there anybody here who would not like their business to succeed? No? Okay. So I'm going to assume that you'd all like either to have more of the success you're already enjoying, or to enjoy the success that's just slightly out of reach, yeah? Okay. So, I came across this book. I listened to this on Audible. I listened to it and I listened to it and I listened to it, and then I purchased a copy. This isn't the copy that I purchased. The copy that I purchased is full of post-it notes and scribble and highlighter markings and all the other stuff that we do with books that we really love, yes? This is a pristine one that I brought along just for today. It's called Oversubscribed, and it was written by a young man called Daniel Priestley. Now, Daniel is Australian by birth. He's an entrepreneur and businessman. By the time he'd hit his mid-20s, Daniel had already made millions. And I mean millions. And what I love about the book and the way that I've put it into practice is that this represents the very strategies that Daniel actually used to become successful. Now, let us kid ourselves not. If you read this book, that will not make you an overnight millionaire, Rodney. However, if you read this book and put this into effect, I can assure you it will help you do business differently and in such a way that you can grow your business. Okay? So please goeth from here not and say, Ralph said I'd be a millionaire if I read this book. Okay. So let's explore this here book. What I'm going to share with you are some basic tips. Now, what I share with you today are some snippets. This is not everything that's in the book. If I was to give you everything that was in the book, I would simply sit here and it would be like Jack and Ori. Anyone here old enough to remember Jack and Ori?
Tell me a story, Jack and Ori.
Tell me a story, Jack and Ori. And it would be once upon a time. Tip number 1 is separate yourself from the market. Now, what Daniel is basically saying is, if you're a coach, stop being just a coach. If you're a speaker, stop being just a speaker. If you run a print company, stop just running a print company, because there are lots of them. The example that he gives is a young man who is a personal trainer. Now, having a personal trainer seems to be the thing nowadays, doesn't it? And this young man was a good personal trainer, and he was working 7 days a week, and he was starving to death because the market rate for a personal trainer was about 30 quid an hour. He read this, he invested in himself, and he invested in working with Daniel. Now, let me warn you now, if you decide to invest in working with Daniel, I hope you've got some noughts to put on there, because he's great. What he did was he separated himself out from the market, because as Daniel says, it is no good being just someone who operates in that market. Create your own market. This young man reached a point where he had just a few clients. Each one of those clients was paying him £50,000 a year to be his personal client. He worked with them one-to-one, physically, mentally, emotionally. He ran high-level retreats to places like Thailand, where he ran programs on martial arts-based training, on meditation and things like that. He reached the point where he was no longer having to work 7 days a week. He was choosing when he worked. He was choosing who he worked with. You had to queue up to be a client for this man. Now, is there anybody in this room who would not like to have a situation where people are queuing up to do business with you? Yeah? If that is something that you don't want, why are you here? Because I think we're all here because we want our business to be bigger, stronger, faster. Isn't that something to do with the Olympics? Okay. So separate yourself out from the market. Look hard at what you do and who you are, and create something special. Because that's tip number 2, and this was where I began to really learn, is be remarkable. Whatever you do, be different. We've got the time doctor sitting at the back there. Okay, wave a hand. This is Mike. Okay, if you are wasting time, and I'm willing to bet that 99% of the people sitting in this room waste time, that is the man who can heal that disease. And it is a disease. Now, there are probably many people who say, oh, I'm a time management specialist. I give talks on time management. What Mike did was he created something remarkable, the time doctor. Aside from surviving how many?
3 heart attacks.
3 heart attacks. Okay, that makes him remarkable in itself. So make yourself remarkable. And what I did was I took my interest in the wolf, and I took my public speaking and my business coaching, and I sat down with my brand manager, and we created the White Wolf. Okay, the White Wolf for 2 reasons. One is because of the beard. Now I'm not even allowed to shave it off, you know. And the other is because my affinity for the wolf touched a friend of mine who's actually part Cherokee Indian. And she said to me, this is a bit amazing. I said, why? She said, because in the Cherokee mythology, the white wolf is the travelling teacher. So, and I still get the prickles on the back of my neck now. The whole white wolf thing came about from this. It's about who I am, it's about what I do. And so now people know me as that. So you create yourself as being different, as being remarkable. Whatever your business is, there is no boring business. There is no ordinary business. There are only businesses that you can make into something special and spectacular. Yeah? It doesn't matter what you do. I don't care what you do. You can make it something that really stands out. So that's rule number 2. First of all, do not play in other people's markets. 2, make yourself different enough so you stand out from the pack. Okay? Number 3, create imbalance. Yeah? The universe likes balance, doesn't it? Okay. Those of us who really like to mess with the universe create imbalance. And if you look at some of the top brands, they actually do that. I'm going to share a little matrix with you that's in the book, and it kind of explains it more. On the one hand, you've got innovation. So who are the brands who are known for innovation?
Apple.
Apple. They are different because of innovation. That is how they create disruption. That's the word, the big word, buzzword now, isn't it? I'm a disruptor. What it means is I mess with things. So you've got innovation. The opposite of that is convenience. You've got brands and big names that are out there who are known because of convenience, because it's easy to get their product. Yeah? Walk down any high street and you'll find them. It's dead easy to get their product. You cannot have both. You can't have innovation and convenience, because to have innovation requires investment, time, energy. If you want convenience, that's got to happen fast, hasn't it? So decide which end of that matrix you're going to be. The third element is price. There are people who sell on price. Walk down any high street and what do you find? You find the pound shop, don't you? It's great. I can wander around there for hours. Yeah? I can spend a fortune on stuff that I didn't want. Why? Because it was only £1. Yeah? I worked on Petticoat Lane Street Market when I was a teenager. It was all £1. £1 for £1. Okay? The other end of that one is building relationships. Now, you can't sell on price and sell on building relationships. Why not? That's a question. Why not? This is interactive as well. You know. Because if you're going to rely on building relationships, it takes time. And time is money. So therefore you can't sell on price.
Yeah, if somebody buys on price, I'd argue that the relationship doesn't matter that much. If you've got £1 land to spend £1,
yep,
it probably doesn't matter How do you get on with the guy who serves you at the till?
Absolutely. That's probably at the, what I would call the tail end. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you've got a product that you want to mass produce and pump it out there on price, go for it. What this is saying is you can't have everything.
Yeah.
So create the imbalance. Pick where you're going to be and invest in that. How am I doing? You going to drag me off yet? No? Okay, good. He's got to get to me first. Okay. Tip number 4 is the campaign-driven enterprise. Now, I watched the way that Daniel Priestley actually does this, and it's quite remarkable. Okay, it's simple. It's not easy. It takes some nerve. But it works spectacularly. And it goes in steps. The first is you build up to being oversubscribed. You may spot on social media, coming soon. Reserve your place. Or even riskier, and it works, is where someone goes on social media and says, I'm thinking of running a workshop on. I need to know how many people are interested. Now, if you've got a big following, and you need a big following for that, people will tick it. They will like it. Only do that if you're actually going to follow it through. So the way that Daniel works is he builds things up. He doesn't release until he's actually oversubscribed. So one example is that he was running a one-day seminar. He announced that this would be a one-day seminar, once only, and it would only be available to 100 people. Okay. He even announced the price of the seminar, which was going to be £499. Could you imagine having 100 people at 499 quid in the room? Okay. But what he said was, the first 100 people to reserve their seats will get a guaranteed place. Now, because he's known for his innovation, because he's known for the ideas that he shares and the material that he gives away, 100 people paid a ticket reservation. So he was already oversubscribed, because not only the 100, but over 1,500 people responded. They all wanted it. They all wanted it. Yeah? He released it when it was oversubscribed, and it was only for a fixed number of people. Step number 3 is to deliver a remarkable experience. Now, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be that you're going to be launching a book. It could be that you're going to be launching a new product. It could be that you're going to be launching a new recipe. It could be a new video. It could be a seminar or a talk. It could be a new type of coaching. So it doesn't matter what it is. You build it up. You release it only when you have got people clamouring for it. A bit like here, see, they're fighting to get in the door. I'm going to tell myself it's because they want to hear me. It makes me feel good. Yep. And then you must deliver a remarkable experience. That recipe, that book, that seminar, that coaching service, that product, whatever it is, needs to be spectacular. Because you want people to go away saying, wow, that was not just worth the money, that was worth a lot more. And you must capture them. Okay, you must capture them. As a speaker and a trainer, I can tell you there is nothing more valuable than grabbing people who will tell other people. Okay. Step number 4, celebrate your success. If you're working with a team, get the team together, because everybody plays a part. Celebrate your success and then innovate. Look at that product, that thing that you have just succeeded with, and say, now, what can I do with that? How can I make that even better and bigger? Or how can I take that and replicate it slightly different so that it becomes something else alongside that? Yeah? So you innovate. You're constantly looking to not only use what you've got, use the feedback that you get, and then do more. Do it bigger, do it better. The only thing that needs to limit it is what you want. Yeah? Your limits are the ones that you set for yourself. And please, don't let other people set limits on it for you. Yeah? Well, that was good. I haven't finished yet. That's what happens when you let somebody change the background colour. Okay, so, oversubscribed. Great book. You can get it on Amazon. You can also get it on audio, on Audible. Sister book to that is one called Become a Key Person of Influence. I've also read and listened to this one. I'm not going to review this one for you today. All I will say is damn fine book. Okay? Well worth it. Now, because I drive a lot, because I travel by train a lot, because I spend hour after hour on aircraft and in waiting rooms of various kinds, I have an Audible account and I listen to these things over and again. I can tell you I've listened to this thing not less than 5 times. The amazing thing is every time I listen to it, I hear something new. I play it in the car. Even, have anybody here heard of accelerated learning? Yeah. Great little technique is to get one of these, turn the volume down so that you're not consciously listening to it, and leave it running in background. Because I'll tell you now, your ears hear everything. So you keep playing it and you will be amazed at what will pop into your head one day. You open your mouth and Daniel Priestley will creep out. Complete with Australian accent. So either one of these two is great. Now, question. How many of you got a mobile phone? Okay, take it out. Do as you're told, take your phone out. Switch on the camera. Take a picture of that. Okay? And I'll tell you why. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on LinkedIn, you'll find me on Twitter. My hashtag is out there. Hashtag Coaching Wolves, hashtag To Inspire Impact. If you email me through my website or contact me with any questions, I promise you I will photobombing. I will answer them every time. That's all from me. Thank you very much. I will now hand back to your host. Thank you.